So we've got a fascinating, and let's be honest, maybe a slightly uncomfortable topic for you today. And AI took a deep dive into the whole world of self-help, and its conclusion? Well, it's pretty provocative. It basically thinks that most of our efforts to improve ourselves are just an act.
And that brings us right to the core question, doesn't it? It's a personal one for, well, all of us. When you think about your own self-improvement journey, is the work you're putting in actually creating real change, or is it kind of just for show?
Okay, so before we get into the big critique, let's just acknowledge the appeal here. The self-improvement dream is powerful, and it's something pretty much all of us can relate to.
I mean, it's this endless quest, right? This deep desire to optimize our lives, to get better, faster, more productive. It's a good impulse, a really positive one. And yeah, the entire self-help industry is built on fueling that very ambition.
But here's where the AI's analysis throws a wrench in the works. It suggests that somewhere along the path, we can get totally lost in the performance of progress instead of, making actual progress.
So what exactly is this performance of improvement? It's not about being lazy. In fact, it's the total opposite. It's about being incredibly busy, doing things that look and feel like you're moving forward, but in reality, you're just spinning your wheels. It's a hamster wheel of activity that goes absolutely nowhere.
And this quote just nails it. It's like you've bought the costume, you've learned all the special lingo, and you've even joined the club, but you haven't actually gone on the real adventure. You are, for all intents and purposes, live-action role-playing as the person you hope to become one day. Okay, so how does this performance actually play out in real life? The analysis points to 3 super common and really sneaky traps that a lot of us fall into without even noticing.
All right, let's break down the very first one. It's called the content trap. This is where the act of learning about getting better replaces the act of getting better. And we do this because, let's face it, it's easy, it feels good, it gives us that little hit of accomplishment without any of the real risk of failure.
Seriously, think about it. You can spend hours researching the absolute perfect to-do list app, and it feels way more productive than actually tackling the items on your list. You get that little dopamine hit that feels like progress. But come on, watching a video about working out is not the same as lifting the weights. And the second trap? It builds right on top of this one. This is the tracking trap. And oh boy, does it prey on our love for data, for metrics, for control. It makes us feel like we're mastering our lives, when really, we might just be mastering a spreadsheet.
This is when you spend more time color-coding your habit tracker than you do actually performing the habit. Perfecting the system becomes the reward. You get that sense of accomplishment even if you're just running on this treadmill of tracking without ever reaching a real destination. And that leads us straight into the third and maybe the most subtle trap of them all.
This one is called the identity trap. It's all about how adopting the look, the aesthetic of a new identity can feel so much more satisfying and frankly safer than doing the hard work it takes to actually earn it.
Look at this comparison, it's just so clear. It's the performance versus the progress. On one side, you have the performance, buying the expensive running shoes to be a runner. On the other side, you have the progress, actually running that 5K until those shoes are totally worn out. This trap is when we get so obsessed with looking like a writer that we forget to, actually write. So after going through all these traps, we've got to ask ourselves the most important question of all. What is the real objective here? What are we actually trying to do? Ultimately, it all just boils down to this single question. Are you building a better-looking life, one that's perfectly curated for an audience? Or are you doing the messy, the difficult, and often the completely invisible work of building a life that is genuinely, truly better from the inside out?